Hi everyone, good day and welcome back to our channel, Sir Renron's Math Tutorial. We're learning math made easy. Actually, this video is just a continuation of the recent videos uploaded in our channel, and that I'd like to say thank you to our subscribers who continue viewing our videos so that they will learn, as to and to the students, that they use the videos as their review material. And to my students, let me do shout out muna to my students of grade 7 Bonifacio. Some of them subscribed in our channel, and my grade 9 gals, grade 9 Einstein, and the rest of my grade 10 students. Thank you so much. Even if you're not subscribing, but then you're viewing our videos here in our channel, that is good enough for us and inspired us to continue to videos, tutorial videos. Alright, so thank you so much. Again, as what I told you a while ago, this is just continuation to the recent topics that we discussed in the previous videos. So we're still on solving quadratic equations by factoring. This is already the part 3, I think, for part 3 already. And our objective is just very simple. It's just to solve quadratic equations by factoring. This is our objective, and this case, we will solve quadratic equations where a is not equal to 1. Now, when we say a is not equal to 1, that pertains to the value of a. So because in the previous video, like we have there an example of let me check this out here. Say the value is x squared. The equation is x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Obviously, a here is equal to 1. Alright? And we used to factor this one using the method that we have in the video. Today, it's like this. Now, suppose we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, this kind of quadratic equations we are going to solve. Alright, here, since a here is not equal to 1, as you see, it's 2 in the given, it's 2, it's not equal to 1. So this will be our concern. It would be like this, it would be like this, wherein a is not a 1, but it could be a 2, 3, 4, so on. It could also be negative number. Okay, so so that we will understand, let us have examples. For example, we have here the next slide, 2x squared plus x minus 10 is equal to 0. Or see, our a here is equal to 2, so it's obviously not equal to 1. Our b here is 1, and our c is negative 10. Okay, now we are going to use factoring as its way for it to be solved. So we will solve this quadratic equation by making use of the factoring. And what factoring am I going to present? It's just a short way of doing it. I call it run method. Okay, run method, because the usual way of doing it is by trial and error, right? In which we are going to look for factors for a, and then look for factors of 10, and then we're going to match that and then check that using FOIL method, and then until such time that we can see an answer equal the same to the original given, and then we will conclude, oh, these are the final factors. So it's a trial and error, but this time we will just have an easy way of doing it. Okay, an easy way of doing it. How? So in the 2x squared plus x minus 10 equals 0, very simple. Actually, if you can make it faster and you're a master already, you can do it mentally. Alright, so here what I'm going to introduce is just a technique of doing it. Example, we have here 2x squared plus x minus 10 is equal to 0. What I'm going to do, your first move is to write the the first term, 2x twice. Alright, twice. Anyway, x is just broken into 2, right? We just split them. This is x times x squared, so no problem with the x. But as you see with the 2, and I wrote 2 twice, meaning I have borrowed 1, 2, isang 2. Alright, I have borrowed a 2. Okay, so what is next to do is, after writing twice, next to do is you have to multiply your a and c, As you multiply your a and c, which is 2 and negative 10, you will have a product negative 20. Alright, and then you are going to find factors of that negative 20 that when you add should be equal to b. Alright, should be equal to b, which is 1 here, which is 1. So what are the numbers when multiplied equal to negative 20? Obviously, you can think of 10 times 2 or a 5 times 4. 5 times 4 is closer, so we will choose 5 times 4. That's a 20, but our given is negative, so we need a 1 here in our factors as negative. So which one should be negative? My second term is positive, so the bigger number should be positive, so the smaller number is our negative, okay, factor. There you go, you have factors 5 and negative 4. So what are you going to do next? Do it as a fraction, so you can just do this one, no? And then write 5 and negative 4 as the denominators. Ayan. Okay, after that, since we wrote twice 2, okay, supposedly only 1, 2, we need to return that 2. Okay, i-return natin yan because we just borrowed 1, 2, one number 2. So here, how to return that? You are just going to look into the fractions. Which fraction can be reduced by 2? So that you can completely return the 2. So we can have this one, this set here, this fraction here. Okay, so copy the first fraction, 2x over 5, that will remain 2x over 5. But this one, if you reduce this one by 2, I mean in terms of 2, okay, they will have, I'm sorry, that should be, that will become, let me erase it, that will become x over negative 2. Okay, so that's it. Na-reduce mo yan, nare-return mo na you were able to return 2. Then you can now have your complete factors. So in just 3 counts, if you just do it, if you can do it mentally, then you can have an answer quickly. So you write 2x plus 5 because the denominator is positive, and this one is x minus 5 minus 2 because the denominator is negative equal to 0. So these are the complete factors of 2x squared plus x minus 10 equals 0. Okay, upon having your complete factors, of course, you are now a clear view. You can get already your roots or solution. So what's next to do is equate our factors to 0, each of them. So you have 2x plus 5 equals 0, and the other one is x minus 2 equals 0. So if you are going to solve for x, of course you have to transpose by the other side, that becomes negative 5. And so you have to divide it by 2 since there's still 2, divide also the other side by 2. So your first x or solution is 5 over 2 negative. Ayan. And then here, you have, of course, you have just to transpose right away negative 2, that is positive 2 in the other side. Therefore, the solution, your solution, or your answer, or your roots are negative 5 over 2 and 2. Okay, these are your solutions. Alright, negative 5 and 2. That's how simple it is. Now, returning what we borrowed is just part of the technique, and reducing it is just part of the technique. Take note of that. So that we will understand further, we'll have more example. For example, we have 4x squared minus 13x plus 10 is equal to 0. Obviously, our a here is not equal to 1. So a is equal to 4. It's not equal to 1. And our b is negative 13. Our c is positive 10. Right? Our c is positive 10. So we're going to use c is 10 here. Ayun. So you will do the same. Okay, first you write, this is 4x squared, so we can write that twice. 4x, 4x, and x, no problem because x times x is x squared, but 4 here, dalawa, so you have borrowed 1, 4. Okay, isang 4. And that's part of the technique. Okay, we will return that later on. Next step is to multiply a and c. So when you multiply a and c, okay, so your a and c is equal to, we will write it here, 40, right? That's your product of your a and c. And the next, you find factors of 40 that when added would be equal to b. Okay, so you have actually, if you're going to multiply 8 and 5, that's a 40. You can choose that numbers because you can have 20 times 2, you can have 10 times 4, but when added, as you know, it will not be a 13. But take note, 13 is negative, and so 40 is positive. Okay, so you can make it both negative. Kasi negative 8, negative 5, when you multiply, it's a positive 40. And if you add both negative, it will be negative 13x here. Okay, so you are correct. That means we have correct factors of the number. Then you use that as denominators here. Okay, you have negative 8 and the negative 5. So which of the fractions you can reduce by 4 since we need to return 4. Okay, so we need to return 4. Here, the first batch or the first fraction can be reduced by 4. So you have x over negative 2. Since 4 divided by 4 is 1, negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. Okay, and then you just copy the second. There you go, in 3 counts probably, no, if you're a master already. You can write your complete factors already, which are x minus 2 and then 4x minus 5. Then equal to 0. That's the complete factors of 4x squared minus 13x plus 10 equals 0. Next is you need to solve now the quadratic equation. So the quadratic equation is solved when factors are already available by equating the factors to 0. So we will equate factors to 0, both of them. So the other one is 4x minus 5 equals 0. So here you just directly transpose it. That's positive 2, so that's your first x. And so here, if you transpose 5, that's positive 5. And then since there's still numerical coefficient 4, you need to divide it by 4, divide also the other side by 4. So therefore x is equal to 5/4. Okay, this is your second x. Then you can write your answer. Oh, my solution are 2 and 5/4. Okay, and 5/4. That's it. No? Okay, that's I'm going to write it properly so it would be very visible. Okay, that's a 5. Yeah, that's a 5. So these are the solutions, meaning these are the roots, and the roots are actually the numbers that will make it balance. If you substitute it to the x, it will turn 0 equal to 0. So it makes the equation 0 to 0. 0 is equal to 0. Okay, I hope that's understood. Again, if you are a master with this method, this is a run method, you will become expert on it. You can do it mentally for sure, except if the numbers are quite large. Okay, you really have to look for numbers that are factors of the given number then. Okay, let's continue with the other example. We have here 5m squared plus 49m minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay, so the same. Let's go directly. Our a is 5, our b is 49, our c is negative 10. So again, the method is you write first 5m twice, m squared, 5 and 5. Oh, we borrowed 1 5. Okay, and then multiply a and c. Your a and c is 5 and negative 10. So multiplying 5 and negative 10, that's a negative 50. Now find factors of negative 50. That would be 49. Okay, you can have positive 50 times negative 1, right? 50 times negative 1 is negative 50, and 50 plus negative 1 is a 49. Okay, correct. It should be equal to the middle. Okay, now you can use the numbers. That's a 50 and a negative 1. Now you can, which of these fractions can be reduced by 5 since we borrowed 1 5? This one, the first fraction. So that will become m over 10. Okay, 5 divided by 5, that becomes 1. 50 divided by 5 is a 10. And then you have here to copy lang 5m over negative 1. So you can write now your complete factors in just a quick way. So you have m plus 10 since it's positive, and then you have 5m minus 1. Okay, then equal to 0. Complete factors. Now you can write your solutions, your roots by equating each factor to 0. The first is m plus 10 equals 0, and the second is 5m minus 1 equals 0. Alright, so this becomes m negative 10. That's your first m. And this one you have to transpose first. That's a 1. And then since there is 5 as numerical coefficient of m, you have to divide both by 5. So your final answer is m is equal to 1/5. Alright, so therefore your solution or roots are negative 10 and 1/5. Ayun. Simple, right? It's getting faster. If you'll become an expert, pro to it, oh my god, you can just make it in 3 seconds, maybe, or 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Okay, last example, we'll have it here. 20c squared is equal to negative 18c minus 4. This one is not written in standard form, so you need to write it in standard form first. Okay, so you will have 20c squared, it becomes a plus, and it becomes a plus 4 equals 0. And then you have now your a is a 20, so it's really not equal to 1. No, it's not equal to 1. So b is 18 positive, and then your c is positive 4. Okay, method, you have to write twice to this time c, so you have 20c, then multiply a and c, so you have 20 times 4, that's 80. Okay, that's 80. Then find factors of 80 that will be 18 when added. Of course, obvious, very obvious, 10 and 8. Okay, you have 10 times 8, 80, 10 plus 8, 18. Okay, that's what you are going to use as denominators here. So you have 10 and you have 8. Which one here is exactly divisible by 20? So you can return 20. Oh, there's none. So therefore, you just have to look into if it's equal to 20 when you reduce it. For example, here, 20 and 10 divisible by 10, or can be reduced by 10. Alright, take note, can be reduced by 10. So you're at it, can be reduced by 10. I have a 10. So when you have 20 divided by 10, that's a 2c. And then 10 divided by 10 is a 1. So you have 2c over 1. You really have to write the denominator. Okay, even if it's 1, because these are factors. And then 20c and 8 are divisible both by 4, so you can have 4. Alright, oh, this is 10 by 2, and then 20, we need 20, 10, 20. This one you can have it by 2. Alright, by 2. Why 2? Why not 4? Though it's divisible by 4, I need to use 2 so that I can just have 10 times 2 since I only borrowed a 20. Okay, let me clear that up. That number above is a 10, which is I used as divisor to reduce this one, and in the other side I am to reduce it only by 2. Why by 2? Why not by 4? It is because I only borrowed one set of 20. So 10 times 2 is already 20. If I'll make it 4, that will be a 40. So it can't be. Now reduce it by 2. You have a 10c, okay, over 4. Alright? by 2 only. Though it's not yet the lowest term, that's not the target that we're going to write it in lowest term. We just have to reduce it in such a way that we can return what we borrow. That's the thing. Okay, and you can write it now 2c plus 1 and then 10c plus 4. Right? That's equal to 0. Now you can equate that factors to solve for your equate it to 0 to solve for your values of your c or the roots. So 2c plus 1 equals 0 and the other one is 10c plus 4 equals 0. Okay, so you transpose 1, that becomes negative, and so you have to divide it by 2, both of it. So c is negative 1/2. Okay, that's your first c here. You have to transpose 4, so 10c equals negative 4. So dividing both by 10, you have c is equal to negative 4 over 10 or negative 2/5. Ayan. So your solution is negative 1/2 and a negative 2/5. These are your roots. Okay? Okay. I think, and that's how simple it is. You get it already. Now let's try to find out the next time what are the other ways of factoring, which is the part 4 of these lessons that we have here as posted in the channel. Okay, thank you so much guys, and for those who are not able to subscribe yet, subscribe now. It would be of great pleasure to me, and I really appreciate if you're going to like it and share it. Bye bye.